Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good morning to everyone. So today we are going to get into chapter Java method, in which we have studied a little bit about the data type and as well as the general structure of Java method in the previous lesson. So allow me to start right through how we are actually going to create or develop Java method with using the concept of algorithm in a real situation, right? So first thing, the prerequisite knowledge that we need in this lesson is the general format of method call and method definition, in which we have studied this in our previous lesson, and I hope that you still freshly remember everything about the one that we have gone through together and did the exercise before this. Okay, so for today's class, I would like you to see the picture in the slide. Okay, as you can see, there are two figures in the slide. And what can you see here? Can you see people? Yes, there are people. Where they are at the coffee shop and they are queuing. For what reason do you think they are queuing? And of course, they are there to buy coffee and cake. All right. So that's the coffee shop, and few people just queuing outside of the coffee shop, intending to buy the coffee and cake. On to the next slide. So this is another figure that you will find in a coffee shop. So who do you think she is? Yep, she is the cashier and she works at a coffee shop. Okay, so what's her task here? She would welcome the customer, smile, and just act friendly. Okay, so you need to remember this person. Okay, so next. So this is the first conversation between the customer and the cashier. What do you think is going on right now? So this girl, she is asking the customer about his name and as well as offer him to help, right? So in this conversation, she says, "Hi, what's your name? And how can I help you, sir?" Right? And this customer named Adam quickly answer her greetings with, "Hi, I'm Adam," and straight away give what he wanted to have, like, "I want to have a cup of coffee," right? And mention there black coffee as for the type of the coffee, and he also wanted to have one slice of tiramisu cake, right? So step one is greeting, ask the customer's name and as well as customer's order, coffee and cake. In the next situation, okay, so here the cashier calculate the total of the price for both of the order in which he ordered the cake and the coffee. It cost 30 ringgit, right? So and then he said that he'll pay for 50 ringgit and the balance is 20 ringgit. Okay, and she gave him a receipt for as a proof of payment, right? And he said thank you. So in this step, basically, this particular situation, we know that there are a background calculation is done, which is calculate the total payment and as well as calculate the balance to give back to the customer how much that he should get, right? And then print the receipt as a proof of transaction. Right, next on to the third step. Okay, so in this step, still the conversation between the customer and the cashier. So the cashier said, "Please wait. We'll call you when your order is done, Sir Adam." Okay, and then the customer says patiently, "All right." Okay, so meanwhile, in this case, the kitchen crew, which is the baristas, will have to prepare the order. So the preparation one, they need to prepare one black coffee. And then the second part is they need to prepare one tiramisu cake as per ordered by the customer. Okay, so in this step 3, basically we will prompt user to wait and then the order is passed to the kitchen crew, right? So who is the kitchen crew? right? So this is the character of kitchen crew here. As you can see, there are two figures. Okay, can you guess what they are doing? Yep, they are making the coffee and preparing the cake. Okay, so there's no conversation here. They're just doing their job, in which in step 4, barista prepare coffee and barista 2 prepare cake. Okay, after they prepared, they would send the order to the cashier as a sign of complete of the order, right? And then the cashier again come to the conversation to say that, Sir Adam, your order is done. Okay, here you go, thank you, right? And Adam would get the order by himself, pick up by himself, and then he would say, you're welcome. Basically, in this case, in this situation, cashier just deliver the cake and the coffee safely to the customer. Okay, so as per the situation that we have seen there, we should be able to analyze the information. Okay, so we know there are two parts that is obvious, and then another two parts is the implicit part that you need to think about, right? So the obvious one is, of course, the task, which is to take the order, to make the coffee, all right? To take the order, to make the coffee, to make the cake, and then calculate the balance. Okay, so while taking the order, we are actually doing the setting lah. Okay, setting in Java method. So as for the role, there are just 3 roles here. Okay, the cashier, the kitchen crew, and the customer. But the customer just asks. Okay, just ask. The information would be delivered to the cashier, right? So the cashier would take the order. Barista 1 would make the coffee. Barista 2 would make the cake. And the cashier again will give the balance to the customer. In order to give, he needs to do some calculation. Okay, so when we already have this information, we need to translate it into computer controlled information, in which we need to translate into Java method. Okay, so from taking the order rolled by the cashier, what can we do and who would do this task? Okay, so taking the order is just getting the information, in which the input happen here. Therefore, we would pass it to the main method. Okay, the main method would collect the order and then we'll set the variable in this method. Okay, so there are a lot of things that you need to set. You need to set the customer name because you are going to repeat them. You need to set the greetings message. You need to set the coffee type, coffee quantity, size of coffee, cake type, and as well as cake quantity. And then you need to do double the barista. Okay, on to the next role. The barista would have to do the make coffee method. Okay, so in this case, he would return, okay, a double value of calculating the total price of the coffee ordered by the customer. Okay, and then the barista 2, she will serve the cake. Okay, again we will return the value of decimal here. Okay, the value of the price of the cake. Okay, and last but not least, the main method. We come back to the main method to calculate the balance. Okay, because after making the cake and after making the coffee, only we will have the value of total price. Okay, and then we will calculate the total price here and then calculate the balance. Okay, so again, calculate the balance is given based on how much cash is given by the customers. Alright, so using the analysis of the information, we would have to design the program data. Okay, so from the method, there are 3 methods. Main method, make coffee, and serve the cake. And the parameters taken by each of them are different. For the main method, there will of course no parameter taken here and no return value. Same with down here. Meanwhile, for make coffee and serve the cake, we will have to take the parameter of coffee type, coffee quantity, and size of the coffee, right? And then we will return the value of total coffee price. And for the serve the cake, we will take the cake type, cake quantity, and we will return the value of total cake price. Okay, and then go back to the main method. Why? because we need to do the calculation of the balance. So in this case, we are actually having the flow chart. The flow already is there. It means that it's a step by step to get the final result. Okay, in which the how many balance do we need to give back to the customer. Okay, so to show you the algorithm, okay, you might want to think the algorithm. Okay, so before we go into this algorithm, we will have a role play for you to do by your own group. Okay, in this presentation, to represent yourself as the role of cashier and baristas as well as the customers.
This is explanation step by step of role play session. To understand the algorithm step, role play will be used to visualize the step by step is involved. Imagine cashier as main method and take the order. For barista 1 and barista 2 will assign as method 1 and method 2. When customer order, they need to mention the menu. First menu is coffee and second menu is cake. For coffee, it have two sizes, M and S. About cake, have a two type. It is cheesecake and tiramisu cake. The cake price for one slice cheesecake is 12 ringgit and tiramisu is 15 ringgit. And two type of coffee is Americano and latte. Price is depending on size. M is Rm 10 ringgit and S is Rm 8 ringgit. So, Alif will order with a cashier. Method will prepare that order and calculate price. To calculate the cake, it will considering by the type and quantity with a parameter. And for coffee, it will calculate by considering the quantity and size with parameter 2. So, both parameter have a no price mentioned because the price is already inside the method. So, after done make a coffee and cake, barista 1 and barista 2 will mention to the cashier price of the cake and coffee. And then cashier will mention to customer to make payment and produce receipt of payment. Now, we see how students act in a role play to understand the step-by-step of method operation.
Hello cashier, I would like to order tiramisu cake for 3 slices and latte coffee size M for 2.
Thank you for the order, sir.
Welcome.
Noreen, for the cake, we will have tiramisu, 3 slices. And Fawaz, coffee, latte, size M. Yeah, 2. For 2.
Okay,
Thank
for the tiramisu cake is 50 ringgit and for the 3 slice is total 45 ringgit. And coffee?
For latte coffee, size M, cup size M, 10 ringgit. For 2 cups is become 20 ringgit. Cashier, so for the coffee is total 20 ringgit.
And for the cake is 45 ringgit.
Okay, so for the total is 65 ringgit.
Okay, this is me. Here the money.
Okay, thank you. Okay.
Hi. Can you progress? Okay? Okay, teruskan.
Baru nak start je.
Smile, 1, 2, peace. Okay. Okay. Hi. Okay, peace. Nama, Medu nak ambil gambar. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Okay, peace. Senyum. Okay. Alright. Okay, senyum kelas. Mana sini? 1, 2, 3, senyum. Tak payah tunjuk muka. Pakai mask. Okay, senyum. Tutup muka, pakai mask please. 1, 2, 3, pada sini. Okay. Okay, senyum. Peace. Okay. Peace. Alright. 1, 2, 3. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Okay, kelas pandang sini. 1, 2, 3, senyum. 1, 2, 3, senyum. Okay. Okay, kelas pandang sini. 1, 2, 3, senyum. Okay, peace. 1, 2, 3. Alright. Okay. Korang pandang sini kejap. 1, 2, 3, peace. Senyum. 1, 2, 3, senyum. Okay. Okay, 1, 2, 3, senyum. Peace. 1, 2, 3. One more, 1, 2, 3. Alright, so class, as you have discussed with your friends and you have seen the role play being outcast in this class, alright, so we would like to see closely the real algorithm that is suggested for you to do, okay, in your group is by taking the input first in the main method, okay, and then you pass the value to method 1 and then you pass another value to method 2. Okay, so the value passed to method 1 are the value that is related to coffee information such as coffee type, coffee size and the coffee quantity. Okay, in method 2 you need to pass another value which is cake type, cake size and cake quantity. Okay, so where does the cache go to? The cache data would be used at the end of our algorithm because cache will be used to calculate the balance. Okay, so for method 1, we will have to check first what type of coffee is ordered by the customer. So if the type of coffee ordered by the customer is a black coffee, and then the price is set to 15 ringgit. If it's not black coffee, it will set to 20 ringgit. This is just suggestion. You can have another value in your group or you can have a lot of coffee type in your group, okay, in order to make the variation of the price, right? After that, both of these, after you set the price of the coffee, we will have to calculate the price of the coffee based on the quantity. Say that the customer ordered a black coffee for 2 cups. Okay, therefore you need to calculate 15 times 2. Therefore the price is 30 ringgit here. Okay, so the value of 30 ringgit would be passed on to the next step, the next calculation. So this calculation exists again back to the main method. So the one in the middle is the main method. Okay, so we go back, and then at the same time, we would also take the value of the cake from the method 2. So method 2 will check the cake type, whether or not it's tiramisu. If it is tiramisu, then we will have to set the price to 15 ringgit. If it's not tiramisu, then we will set the price to 10 ringgit. Okay. And then after that, we will have to again calculate the price of the cake depending on the quantity ordered by the customer. Okay. Given that the total price of the cake is done, we'll pass the value to calculating the total price simultaneously with the coffee price. Okay, so coffee price plus cake price, you will get the total price of the order. Okay, and then here you will have to get again the value of the cash given. Okay, the value of the cash given in the first step to do a deduction with the total price here to get the balance. Okay, with this, we can say that you have a complete flow or algorithm of your procedure. Okay, so having done that, you should be able to develop your own program. This is just an example. You can have other design. Okay, and I would like to call the one who managed to do this as the winner. Okay, we would consider as 4 winner lah. Okay, 4 winner untuk dapatkan to get the prize. Okay, so in this case, this is the main method. Step 1, we will welcome to the coffee shop, and then we will ask for order for the coffee, and then ask for the input of the cake, and then we would call the method make coffee and then make cake, and then we would calculate the total price here. Okay, given the total price, we would give back the balance depending on the cash, but it's not shown here, so it's up to you how you want to design your method. Okay, so this is the method 1 and this is method 2. This is just a suggested solution. Alright, so having done that, you can run and test your program. Therefore, we will get to this type of input and output. So input is enter type of coffee, black coffee or Americano. So the user entered Americano, and then quantity 1, the size small, order cake tiramisu, quantity of tiramisu 2 ringgit. Okay, and then the total price is 28 ringgit. Okay, so in this example, we don't show the balance. So you can add that up in your program. Alright, so as for the conclusion, do you think it's fun to think step by step to design the program? Yes, good. Do you think it's useful implementing algorithm to design the program? Yes, it is, of course. And you also can actually apply the same concept to other situations while building Java method. And also all you have to do is just divide them into step by step. That's all. Thank you.